Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Finding Nat, and one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk about now that I'm here alone at my house is my relationship with my husband. This past year for our anniversary, we were able to get away and spend some time together and just truly be able to enjoy each other's company. And I wanted to talk about the importance of making that a priority. If I'm slurring a little bit, I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out yesterday. So my jaw is really tight and I am in a little bit of pain, but I just could not let this moment pass since I don't have any kids at home. So here we go. I am going to try and keep this video kind of concise because I am in pain. But so as you guys know, I'm on a journey to find myself and to reclaim the woman that I know is there. Motherhood has been very rough on me and I kind of lost myself along the way. One of the things that I do feel like I lost is that excitement in our relationship. Both Jeffrey and I really aspire to be great parents. We want to be the type of parents that are very hands-on, very child focused, and because of that it kind of leaves us sometimes without any time for ourselves. By the time we put the kids down in the evening, it's like we're just tired. You know, so we're either vegetables on the couch just waiting to go to bed, or we're hustling and bustling with the kids, getting them to wherever they need to be. So this last Christmas, my mom asked, what do you guys want for Christmas? And I was like, I really hope you guys listen to me, but I genuinely just want time with my husband. And that is something that is super important to me, is being able to spend time with Jeff, with just Jeff. You know, I love my children down. I love my children so hard. But the fact of the matter is time with the whole family is so different than time alone with just your spouse. And so I really wanted some time alone with Jeff. And, you know, for me, it was about reconnection. It was about, you know, being able to have a conversation, just the 2 of us, where we're able to talk back and forth uninterrupted, you know. And honestly, it felt like such a short time, but my mom did take them for 5 days. And we were able to do a few things. So the first thing that we did was we went to the Bahamas. We got just a cheap cruise. I was literally once I found out that that's what I was getting, I started Googling cheap, quick 3-day cruise, you know. And to my surprise, we've only been to one other cruise. It was out of Tampa Bay, and we went to Mexico. This was pre-kids. I had a horrible time. I did not enjoy it. It was through Carnival. I was seasick. I was annoyed. It rained the entire time. It was just worse. And so I had kind of sworn off cruising, but I was you know, a quick cruise would be a great way, in my opinion, to get out of the house, get a change of scenery, and it's something that we could quickly do that's kind of still affordable, and we get to see another country. I found a Margaritaville cruise, and I know what you're thinking. Even when I booked it, I was I don't know about this, but it ended up working out. It ended up working out, and it was super cheap. I think it was $150 per person, you know, plus fees and stuff like that. We did have to pay to park our car. We did add on a beverage package. We did have to pay for an excursion, you know, but the whole trip ended up being such a beautiful way to connect with my husband, reconnect with my husband, and to kind of reaffirm our love for each other. And it was perfect because it was our anniversary. We've been together for more than 18 years together dating, but 14 years married. And so it was just a nice reminder. There's this social media meme that's kind of going around, and it was I thought you were an asshole. Yeah, I thought you were too. I couldn't stand you, you know. And not that we were to that point, but we were close. You know. And when you don't have that time to really reconnect, and you know, just even, I'm on a growth journey, so he has to constantly get to know, or re-get to know, and get reacquainted with this woman I'm becoming, you know. And same for me, for him, you know, we're constantly evolving. And it was nice to just kind of reconnect, get to know each other again, you know, and plan for the future and dream about the future. So I'm going to show you guys some clips of our time on the Margaritaville boat. And so it's a lot of things. You know, it's definitely not like a 5-star accommodation. I'm not going to lie to you. Our room was not like perfect in my opinion. The bathroom was old in my opinion. No, not even in my opinion. It was old. But the actual hotel room was very nice. We had a great time. So the first day we got on board around 12, and once we got on board around 12, we were left to kind of like explore the boat and like have a drink. Like I said, we got the drink package, so we were able to use, it was like a little bracelet that they give you, and you got, I believe, I want to say 10 drinks on it. So we were able to do that and, you know, just explore, have a drink. We sat by the pool for the longest. It was actually really cold, I guess because it's on the water. It's actually really cold. So we really just stayed on the pool deck for a while in the adults only section. And, you know, there was music. You could hear the music from like the other side. There was music. People were just like kind of getting reacclimated or like acclimated to the boat. And we had a good time. It was, the send-off was at 4 o'clock, and they did have a like kind of like a party type situation. Yeah, they did have a party type situation. But we didn't attend. Not that we're antisocial or anything, right? But like, this was not a, oh, let's get lit trip for us, you know. It was a, we're old, we're tired. We're not even that old, we're in our 30s, but still, like, you know, I'm not a partier anymore. I used to be a huge party girl, but I'm no longer a party girl. I can go out and have fun, but I'm not there to, you know, do too much. That's all I could say. So we were just like kind of chilling, and then again, you know, we're in mom dad mode still, so we did go to dinner early. Like, the party was happening from 4, I think, to like 6. The first seating for the Finn's dining room was, I believe, at 5. So we got quickly changed and we went over there, and that was a really nice experience. You get, I think, like 1 starter, 1 entree, and 1 dessert. And it was nicer than going to the buffet. It was nicer than, you know, like just like the quick service restaurants that they had. So it was a great experience. It was not quite fine dining. Neither was the one that we paid for, honestly. But it was nicer than the Finn's. So Finn's restaurant is included. It is free. And you're able to, like I said, get one of each of those items. And it's included in the price. So we had a dinner there. As soon as we sat down, let me tell you how we had the scare of our lives. Our alarm system, and mind you, this is as the boat is driving away from the shore. So I'm like seeing the shoreline leaving, and only to realize that our alarm at our house is going off. So you can imagine the panic that set in. We're trying to like call our family. Like, I was calling my mom. Jeff was on the phone with the alarm company, and they were calling the police because we're like, well, we left, you know, the alarm is set and it's going off. The police come, they didn't find anything. My mom and dad went to the house, and so the way our house is set up, like, we have, it's like a smart home. So like, we have the key on our phones, but we could only use it without Wi-Fi, and we don't have Wi-Fi. So Jeff ended up having to buy Wi-Fi, and they were able to get into the house. We were able to let them in, and because of that, they were able to find out that the little sensor fell off the door, and because the sensor fell off the door, it triggered the alarm, and that was that. So we had like a little bit of a scare because, like, literally As our cell service is leaving, or, you know, like disconnecting, we're having an issue and we're finding that we have a scare at the house. So that got solved. Thankfully, it was nothing. And we were able to just, you know, have some dinner, chill out, relax. We did go to one of the comedy shows, and one of the performing acts, there was a singer. She did really beautifully. But we were just really tired. I'm not gonna lie, we were tired. So that first night, we did go to sleep early because both Jeff and I were falling asleep at the performances, and I was like, okay, this is a little rude. So we ended up going back to our room and going straight to sleep. The next day we did wake up and we went on an excursion. The excursion we bought through a third party on TripAdvisor. I'll link everything down below. It was super fun. It was very chill. It was a private beach club. And if you know anything about like these excursions, like there are these beach clubs that it's kind of like a party, you know, and they have their own transportation from the port to the beach club. And so that's what we decided to do. We did that, and it also included lunch and drinks. We got there and there was nobody there. We were the only ones. And I just felt really bad, first of all, because like there was nobody there and it was only us. So pretty much we kind of had like an issue where I had booked it because they said there was fish available, and the fish was when we got there, the fish was not available. And so I was like, oh, I only booked it because it was fish, you know, because I don't eat meat. I only just like barely started back eating fish and eggs. I was vegetarian this whole time. And so they ended up like pulling out one specifically for me, you know, and I just felt like really bad. I had one drink. It was very strong. She made it so strong. I was like halfway drunk, honestly, off that one drink. And so we just relaxed on the beach. Like, it was a very chill time. We rented an umbrella, so we just stayed under the umbrella. I fell asleep at one point. Jeff fell asleep at one point. We went down to the water, and like the clearest blue water you could even imagine. We saw fish. It was just a beautiful experience, and it was very nice speaking to the locals. The food was amazing, you know, and the owner, he came and he talked to us, and he was like, you know, usually this place is like hopping. Like, we ended up there on a holiday, so it ended up being where like everybody had came the night before to party, and now everybody kind of had to like go back to work the next day, or they were hungover. But he was like, you know, usually we're passing around like shots and stuff, and like there's loud music, and they had like, you know, this like stick that you could climb. If you could climb it, you got a free shot. So it was, I was glad that it was a very chill day. I'm glad that we got our pick of the beach. It was pretty much a private beach. And then on the way back, the company was very nice and let us stop to get a bottle of rum, which that bottle of rum was for my mom. And it was named Ricardo after my older brother, who she lost. So it was a nice like full circle moment to, you know, gift her this bottle of rum named after my brother, who is no longer with us. So she was very tickled when she got that, and she was like, oh my god, it's named Ricardo. That's so nice. So when we got back to the boat, we were tired, honestly. I don't know what it is about like being at the beach, being in the sun. I don't know what it is about that, but it just drains you. And so we went back, we took a quick nap, and then Jeff, that was our actual anniversary day, so Jeff decided to pay for the restaurant on board. So the restaurant on board, it is an additional cost. I believe it was like $58 per person. And again, you get one starter, one entree, and one dessert. And then like drinks are additional. So it is an additional cost, but it was a very nice experience. It was like, it felt more private. It felt more like off in the cut, away from all the people on the boat. Because one thing about me is like, I don't really like crowds. I like to be the only one in places. And so it was just nice to have that like alone time again, and to, you know, just talk to him and be able to connect and be able to like just have a nice dinner. Everything tasted delicious. I didn't really have anything crazy on board. there is a pizza place on board. I'll link it down. I'll list it down below. You do have to pay for it, but it's like $12, I think, for a large cheese pizza, which that's what we would buy because we're vegetarian. Well, I'm vegetarian, or I guess pescatarian, and so pretty much we had that late, like a late night type situation. But everything that I had on board was good. The buffet, I didn't really go towards the buffet because, you know, I don't really like buffets. If you know me, I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. They did have like a quick service counter where you could get like burgers and fries. I don't eat burgers, so I was able to just get some fries from there. And that's, again, like they were serving the fries. There's not people touching the food, you know. So that's kind of like my thing, is like I don't really want anybody like touching my food. So that was a nice experience, and everything, like I said, like tasted really good. What else? So we had a couple drinks that night, and then we ended up just like we just ended up going to bed again. We were gonna stay out that night. There's like supposedly like nighttime entertainment and things like that, but I don't know, I was not feeling any of it, you know. Like, we were both tired. We were both really tired, so we were just like, okay, let's just take the opportunity to sleep. The drink package, unfortunately, was not the greatest for us because we had, I believe, 5 drinks left on each wristband. So we ended up not even using the drink package to the fullest extent. I just didn't want to wake up with like hangovers and stuff. And then the next day we were waking up at 7 a.m. and that's when the port of call is, you know, so basically you have to disembark. I didn't want it to be where we did that, you know, and like we woke up with an issue. So we didn't really use the drink package. I don't know if I would recommend it, and now I see that they raised the price to like $200 per person, but I do believe it's unlimited. So I guess you do what you do, but for 2 days, like really a day and a half, not even, because you're on shore for half of that day, that full day, it's really 2 evenings worth of drinking. To me, it's not worth it. You would have to drink so much alcohol. And they're not using like top shelf. We drink top shelf at the house if we have to have a drink. But overall, it was a really great experience, and I hope that if you are feeling a little bit stuck in your relationship, that you have some time to maybe get creative. Maybe not a cruise, but get creative, get out of the house. Okay, so my family's back. My camera just ran out of memory space, so I do have to go, but I really do hope that you get a chance to rediscover and reignite your relationship if that's something that you're looking to do. Maybe not a cruise, maybe not, you know, a trip, but something there they go, but something that is a change of scenery is perfect. If you like this video, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I do have a goal of reaching 500. It's a new channel, so if you could do that, I would be greatly appreciative. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!